morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Mr. Sanjay Puri and the Dialogues team for having us today. So, architecture in a diverse India. It is so special to be here in Udaipur, and you couldn't talk about diversity more than where you are. If you just walk down the road and walk through the hills, it's absolutely inspiring, and you feel such great pride to be Indian. And just the breadth and length of our country that we as architects get to travel and traverse and build on is such a privilege. So, thank you, Udaipur, today for hosting us. Just a little introduction very quickly on our studio and then want to dive straight into the topic. So the studio was started by my mother in the 70s, and today I've been with her 20 years. We are now Sumaya Sampat, and as I mentioned, privileged to work around the country.
Subscribe to watch more such insightful videos.
When we're looking at diversity, we look at India, and we come back to a very important question. Will we inherit a crisis or create an opportunity for 950 million urban lives? We see a huge shift from rural to urban, and we're going to have to see how we manage that as professionals across the landscape that we have. It's this incredible diversity that is going to come into our cities, whether it's tier one, two, three, and four. And these are some of the things that we're delving into as architects, whether it is infrastructure, water, management of climatic conditions, materiality. And we look at all these aspects as we build every day. So as we move into this new world of 2050, we look at a portrait of a country that is built on contrasts and coexistence. And that really is her strength and her beauty. So when I look at that, I want to now move to Bombay, which is truly a city for me that is full of these contrasts and coexistence. So when we're looking at these contrasts and coexistence, how do we work across our country and our cities to show that diversity? I'm just quickly going to take you through 4 quick projects through a very quick lens, right from a playground to a high-rise residential to a school restoration and finally to a small gallery project. So Colaba Woods, our first project was done in 1986. and we've documented through the years. When we finished this project, it was converted from a garbage dump into a little park for the community. And before we were opening it, the BMC came to us and said, we want to charge 5 rupees for people to enter. And we fought very hard. We said, you will not charge a rupee for people to enter. If you make everybody a stakeholder of this park, they will all look after it. And that did prove right. Whether it was the local slum dwellers who were living next door who would come in to sit even at night in the small pavilion to study, or it was the more affluent from the neighborhoods and the high rises nearby, they all came together to look after this garden. And it's been many decades and it's continued to grow in a little forest that it is today. Now, many years on, we find ourselves doing another playground, and that thread continues. Here, we are reinvigorating another local playground, but to support young women and young girls. We're doing it in partnership with a sports company that really is working to empower young women. So, as we design it, we have multiple schools that are built around it, we have it open to the public, and we also want to create a really high quality athletics facility that anybody in the city can come and use at any time. So there has to be the sense of equality. The gates have to remain open to all. We have to design and build for everyone. And that is our greatest strength as a country and as Indians. Lodha World One was one of our early collaborations, which we did with Paycop Freed. We love to take projects where we are constantly learning. And in parallel, over the decades, these are just 4 very different projects we did. First was a little office. There was an old little mill building that we converted into an office in the early 80s. Then by the 90s, we converted existing mill into the Empire Institute of Learning. After that, we did an independent contemporary office building called Brady Gladys. And then we were approached to come and do World One. I think what was very interesting for us was just learning how to build tall, learning the technology, learning the techniques, and learning from the best. If we're able to partner with people from different parts of the world and come and learn and really work together with them on something like this. And whether it was computer modulations, looking at 100 years of weather, what does it look like? What will the infrastructure around look 10, 15, 20 years ahead? But also looking at the small details where we made them understand how we live. We live as Indians, we have a lot of staff. What if somebody throws something off the 56th floor? What impact that has? How do we educate? How do we create awareness? How do we make sure people are able to adapt to this new living? Also, learning how to work in a very organized way, learning how to work through technology, and learning from ground up, working very closely with the skills of the workmen who constructed with us, right up to the top end where we were dealing with complex water ballast systems to ensure the sway of the building was controlled. So it was just such an exciting. Wonderful school. We've done 4 schools before this. This was a conversion of a heritage building. Conservation is a very important part of our studio, and we converted this old building, which used to be a bank, into a school. When you do that, the regulations completely flip on its head, and they're much heavier. But it was through COVID, through an incredible storm, Nisar, through the creation of the metro. And often we don't see the journeys that we all kind of work through when we do architecture. We only see those final images. But it is backbreaking work. It's rigorous and it's hard, but it's incredibly satisfying. And so the building comes to life, and everybody was fascinated how you open up this building for children. I was a student of the school, my mother was a student of the school, and so are my children. And so it's wonderful to bring in details that I remember, whether it's painting the walls half height, keeping the bell of the school in the same place, but really bringing in new facilities. It's air conditioned, IB requirements are different, and you can see the contrast, but the continuity of the past and the heritage that is there. So, as we talk about what we remember, the history and the past, how do we build for the future? You start walking around, start seeing the beautiful details, the columns, the arches. If you look at the exterior facade of the building, most of the windows are absolutely different from one another. We have classrooms which are very specific to cathedral, which have beautiful big wooden doors, completely characteristic of our old buildings. And so how do we keep the doors open, let the light flood through into the common corridor? You have wooden spiral staircases. You have the main staircase, which has the elevator cage. So for us, when we enter this building, they're like hidden treasure troves. That's what makes the character of the city. So if we're able to preserve these, you can repurpose it for what you need. Then demolition should become a word of the past. And finally, to end, a gallery dedicated to the people of Mumbai. It was the first gallery dedicated to the city. We've done about 8 or 9 galleries for the CSMVS before, but the opportunity to curate and design a gallery for the city was really exciting. And so the only way I felt we could tell the story was through people itself. So I built a collective of artists across 117 objects. It was just 2,000 square feet, and we created these 25 collective stories. And we talked about Mumbai from the city of opportunity, where you had the mangroves, the landscape, to the city of migration. Time. I will just move through this. The most beautiful part was seeing the way people react. We would often just walk around the gallery and hear people being nostalgic about something they've seen or something they remember, and coming from all parts of the country. And of course, doing very interesting things with futuristic artists like Varun Gupta here. So, what does the future hold for our people of India? The time of contrast and, of course, diversity. We don't blend in, we must remix. Thank you so much.